Hello there! Good day everyone! I am teacher Claire Indino Sereneo and this is English 7. By the way, you can just call me Teacher Claire. But before we start, let me awaken your brain cells first. I want you all, yes you guys, to read and observe the excerpt from the poem entitled Desiderata. Eyes on the screen please and let's read all together.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant, they too have their story.
Oh hey, it's me again, yes. So upon reading the excerpt, what have you observed? Like, do you have some questions like what it is made of? Or what does it consist of? Do you have any observations? Oh, I see some students raising their hands. Yes, Rhea? You said it is made up of words and phrases. Very good. Any other ideas? Yes, Irene. Oh, thank you. You also said that it is made of clauses and sentences. Very good observation, students. Now, for today's lesson, we will explore and dig deeper the excerpt I let you read a while ago. And to give you the tool, let us all learn and discuss about phrases, clauses, and sentences. Phrases and clauses are both important group of words that make up sentences. But clauses are complete thoughts that can function on their own. So now, let us start with phrase. Phrase is a group of words that may contain the building blocks of a sentence, like a noun or a verb that does not combine a subject. A subject is the one performing the action in a sentence, and a predicate which tells us what the subject is doing. A phrase contributes meaning to a sentence by providing further information about the subject, object, verb, or setting. So let me give you an example. These examples, I have 3 examples provided. We have under the table, at the beach, and after the meal. So there are actually 8 types of phrases. These are noun phrase, verb phrase, gerund phrase, infinitive phrase, appositive phrase, participial phrase, prepositional phrase, and absolute phrase. But for today, let's not dig deeper on the types of phrases, and let's just discuss it more on our next discussion. For now, let's proceed to what is clause. So what is clause? Clause is a part of a sentence that functions dependently or independently as a complete thought. Clauses contain a subject, which is the actor, and a verb, which is the action the subject performs. Sentences are made up of independent and dependent clauses that describe a subject, where they are, the mood, and the action they are taking. Where independent clause is a simple sentence which stand on its own or which can stand on its own. Let me give you an example. Example is, she is hungry. So for now, Sheila, can you give me an example of an independent clause? Yes, you said she cooked adobo. Very good example, Sheila. That is right. That is one example of an independent clause because clearly she can cook adobo can stand alone on its own. Now, let's proceed to dependent clause. Dependent clause cannot stand on its own and it needs an independent clause to complete a sentence. Now, to make it clear, let me give one example. The example is, although she is hungry. From this example, we can actually conclude that the sentence or the clause cannot stand on its own. Now, can I have one example from you, Mr. Louie? Yes, since she is late. That's your example. And that's exactly correct, Mr. Louie. Thank you. Now, let me give you an example that has an independent and dependent clause. Actually, it's a sentence. Now, let's identify where is the dependent clause and where is the independent clause. The example is, although she is tired, she still managed to finish her assignments. In this example, the line, although she is tired, is our dependent clause, and the line, she still managed to finish her assignments, is our independent clause. Because clearly, she still managed to finish her assignments can stand alone on its own. So that's the example of a sentence where we can see a dependent clause and an independent clause. I hope that's clear to everyone. Take note that dependent clauses often begin with words such as although, since, if, when, and because. So when you see those words, you can easily identify where is the dependent clause of one sentence. So now, I hope that's enough ideas. So now, let's go to sentence. So what actually is a sentence? A sentence expresses a complete thought and contains a subject. It's either a noun or a pronoun, and a predicate. It's either a verb or a verb phrase. Subject is the topic of the sentence, and the predicate is what is said about the subject. So the simple subject is a noun or pronoun, while the complete subject is this noun or pronoun and the words that modify it. So the simple predicate is a verb or a verb phrase, while a complete predicate is the verb or verb phrase and the words that modify or complete it. So let me give you an example. Ronnie shot Guido. In this example, Ronnie is both the simple and the complete subject, while shot is the simple predicate and shot Guido is the complete predicate. So another example is the angry man in pajamas stood on the front porch. Now, our simple subject here is man. Our complete subject is the angry man in pajamas. Our simple predicate is stood, and our complete predicate is stood on the front porch. So it's easy as it is. No? It's very easy to identify the simple subject, the complete subject, the simple predicate, and a complete predicate in a sentence. So now that you already have an idea on what is phrase, clause, and sentence, including their functions actually and their types, it is time for some engaging activity that can energize your brains. Yes, you're right. We will be having an activity. Actually, it's a group activity, so allow me to group you guys. I will group you into two. This row, the first row, will be the group 1, and this row, the second row, will be the group 2, obviously. Now, listen carefully to my instructions. This is one easy task. I am going to give you 5 strips of papers for each group. And your task is to identify where these strips of paper belong by pasting it on the board, whether it belongs to clause, phrase, or sentence. So I wrote some words there, and you only need to identify where this belongs. So this is one easy task, and I will only give you 30 seconds to answer. So after I distribute these strips of paper, proceed discreetly on this task. So timer starts now. Now time is up. So let's now check your answers. So as we can see, the work of group 1 is already pasted on the board. So let's check. There are only 5. So let's check if you got 5 points. So the first one is with a pink shirt. So you said it's a phrase, and it's correct. Guys, it's actually a phrase. The second one is on the horizon. And yes, it's correct. On the horizon is a phrase. The third one is under the tree. And you place it under phrase, and you're correct. It's actually a phrase. Now you've got 3 points. The fourth one is when the dancers go marching in, and you put it under clause. And yes, it's correct. It's a clause. The last one is statistics is a branch of mathematics dealing with the collection, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of masses of numerical data. Obviously, it's a sentence, and you put it under sentence, then you're correct. So you've got 5 points. Very good, group 1. Let's give group 1 5 claps. And now 5. Very good, group 1. You've got 5 points. Let's proceed to group 2. As we can see, their work is already pasted on the board. So let's start with the first one. The first one is after the devastation. And you put it under phrase. So it's correct because obviously it's a phrase. The second word is best friend. It's also a phrase. Then it's correct. The third one is because I love numbers. And it's a clause. Yet it's also correct. The fourth one is although she was smart, and you put it under clause, then it's correct. Now you've got 4 points. Let's check the last one. The last one is mathematics is my favorite subject, and you place it under sentence, so it's also correct because obviously it's a sentence because it has a complete thought. Very good, group 2. You also got 5 points. Let's also give them 5 claps. So that's 5. Very good, guys. You've actually done your part, and I know that you listened very well to my discussion a while ago. So I bet you are more than ready for our quiz. Oh, yes, we're having a quiz. This time, kindly get a pen and a paper silently. Are you ready, guys? Now listen to our direction. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Write your answer on your paper, and you have 5 seconds to answer each item. Now ready? Number 1. It is a group of words that may contain the building blocks of a sentence. It contributes meaning to a sentence by providing further information about the subject, object, verb, or setting. Letter A, clause. B, independent clause. C, phrase. D, infinitive phrase. Number 2, it often begins with words such as although, since, if, when, and because. What could it be? A, dependent clauses. B, subordinate clauses. C, independent clauses. Or D, main clauses. Number 3, identify the independent clause of this sentence. Although she is tired, she still managed to finish her assignments. A, she is tired. B, finish her assignments. C, although she is tired. Or D, she still managed to finish her assignments. Again, A. She is tired. B. Finished her assignments. C. Although she is tired. Or letter D. She still managed to finish her assignments. Number 4. It expresses a complete thought and contains a subject and a predicate. Again, it expresses a complete thought and contains a subject and a predicate. A. Phrase. B. Sentence. C. Clause. D. Independent clause. Again, A. Phrase. B. Sentence. C. Phrase. Clause. Or letter D. Independent clause. Okay, last number 5. Identify the complete predicate of this sentence. The angry woman in skirt stood on the front desk. Again, identify the complete predicate of this sentence. The sentence is, the angry woman in skirt stood on the front desk. A. Woman. B. Stood. C. Stood on the front desk. Or D. Angry woman. Remember, complete predicate. So again, A. Woman. B. Stood. C. Stood on the front desk. Or D. Angry woman. Time is up. Time to check your answers, guys. Are you ready? Now exchange your papers. Okay, exchange your papers on your back. So, who's the person sitting on your back? Exchange your paper to that certain person. Okay? Done? So now let's check your answers. So let us start with number 1. If your answer is letter C, phrase, then you are correct. Yes, guys, because the phrase does provide further information about the subject, object, verb, or setting. Remember that. So let's proceed to the second number. Now, are you excited? Yes, if your answer is letter A, dependent clauses, you are correct. Yes, you are correct. I mentioned that a while ago, that dependent clauses usually starts with words such as although, since, if, and maybe. Oh, someone get wrong? Better luck next time, guys. So let's proceed to the third number. Yes, if your answer is letter D, she still managed to finish her assignments, then you get it right. Yes, that's the independent clause of the sentence. I actually gave you an example a while ago, so don't tell me that someone got wrong on that, okay? That's letter D. She still managed to finish her assignments. Now we're bound to the second to the last, the fourth number. So if your answer is letter B, sentence, yes, you got it right. Because sentence, remember that sentence expresses complete thought and it contains a subject and a predicate. So that's a sentence. Always remember that, guys. Now for our last number, if your answer is letter C, stood on the front desk, then you're right. That's correct. Yes, I repeated it twice a while ago. I'm looking for the complete predicate. And the complete predicate of the sentence I have given is stood on the front desk. So that's letter C. Who got a perfect score? Wow, very good. There are a lot actually. Very good, guys. Before I let you go, Char. So before I let you go, let me show how I cared for you, my dear students. Yes, I care for you by giving you things to do. Someone is scrolling. Yes, I'm actually giving you things to do, your assignments. So listen carefully. Okay, get your notebooks now. Your assignment is, in your notebook, write 10 sentences and identify the simple subject, complete subject, simple predicate, complete predicate in each sentences. Again, in your notebook, write about 10 sentences and identify what is the simple subject, the complete subject, the simple predicate, and the complete predicate in each sentence. Yes? And we're going to check that first thing tomorrow. Don't forget that. So that's it. And actually, I know that it's a piece of cake for you guys. For you, my dear learners. And I know that you can do it. And you can do that much. So, I hope you learned a lot in our discussion today. Let me leave you this quote. Always remember that success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. That's by Winston Churchill. And also apply that in your real life, guys. See you all in our next session, English 7, with your teacher, Claire.